honor the heroes of Gears in Operation 6. Colonel Victor Hoffman, a soldier to the core, doesn't take shit from anyone. Queen Reyna, a former outsider who unleashed the ferocious swarm army against the Cog. Locust Zealot, the result of Ukon's psychotic emulsion experiments. Speyer returns with signature close quarters fights. And a new operation means a new tour of duty.
Safe to your fate.
We heard you. More content, more often. Operation 6 has just begun.
What's up everyone, it's TheRazoredEdge, and today I'm here to bring you guys my breakdown of the official Operation 6 trailer here for Gears 5, which I think has been done a little bit different from Operation 5, which was the previous operation. Obviously, I think we got a teaser trailer quite a bit in advance to kind of let us all speculate and get a little bit hyped up and that kind of thing, but this time we're just getting kind of a little small trailer just before the operation releases, which I think has been traditionally done, so it's kind of going back to how it was before Operation 5, but I've done my best to kind of comb through and pick out the best moments from the trailer, the things that stand out, and I'll be giving my honest thoughts and presenting all the content that I noticed in the trailer. And they've also dropped some patch notes as well, which we will be running through in this video as well. So, before we jump in, if you guys could go ahead and drop a like on the video and subscribe to my channel for all future Gears of War content notifications on, that'd be greatly appreciated. But let's dive in, and the first thing we have here is a close-up of Colonel Victor Hoffman, which has been revealed to us throughout the kind of blog releases and teases for Operation 6. Him and his classic E-Day Classic Hoffman. There's kind of two names for the classic Gears, isn't there? Like, this is Classic Hoffman, like as he was in Gears 1, but it's been called E-Day Hoffman as well in multiple Gears games. Which do you guys call it? Do you call it Classic or do you call it E-Day Hoffman? Either or works, but he's kind of been done from the ground up, looking more... It's probably the best version of Hoffman, honestly, that we've gotten in a Gears game so far. In my opinion, the detail is absolutely crazy. And then in the next screenshot, we have him blowing the head off of a drone who's trying to hit him with the quick stab there. A little bit of humor in there. And then the next screenshot, or the next frame, we will say, is that we have Queen Reyna accompanied by a bunch of swarms. So for the first time, we actually have like a big female character entering the swarm locust side. I think we have Queen Mira, and then we have the swarm hunter, and now we have Queen Reyna. So it's cool to see another female character go onto the locust/swarm side, and a significant one at that. And I think the Coalition done a really good job on Queen Reyna here. And then as we back out of this shot, it actually looks like an additional area added to Speyer, which is the returning map for the beginning of Operation 6. And you've also noticed that Queen Reyna actually has a pair of legs now to obviously fit in with the multiplayer crowd of characters, because in the story she only had tentacles, so I'm assuming that's a bit of a retcon there in a sense. And then in the next frame, we have the brand new leg DLC. New leg confirmed. That was funny, wasn't it? But that leads to a shot where we have the Locust Zealot, who is returning from Gears Tactics, our first time having him playable in a mainline Gears game, obviously since, you know, Gears Tactics released during the life cycle of Gears 5. So it's cool to see that we have the Locust Zealot finally playable. Anything that comes from Gears Tactics is cool to see. And then the next frame, we get a good look at Speyer returning there. No real visual differences from what I can see, except for that one thing I noticed of the extra area on the map. So hopefully that is the case and it wasn't just cut out for the trailer. And then next part up here, we have a sequence of a bunch of the Carmine family who are from previous operations. Benjamin is doing like a grounded pound there. And then as the shot pulls out, we have Academy Anthony doing a punch. I'm not sure if this is just kind of like a creative way of just making the trailer exciting, but I don't see this being introduced as a mechanic in multiplayer, so I found that a little bit peculiar. So I don't think that's like a new mechanic coming into multiplayer by any means. And then we have Lizzie doing an execution on the Hunter here, which is this execution's old and was brought in a few operations ago, so I'm not really sure why it's in the Operation 6 trailer. And then in the next frame, so this is really cool. We have Queen Reyna, Blood Red Queen Reyna, which is the general reward for the brand new Tour of Duty. So, ever since the Blood Red speaker from one of the early operations, there hasn't been any more Blood Red skins, and I've been hoping to see the Coalition, lean into that. It's actually like a really cool skin design. So hopefully we get these a bit more regularly because it's super unique. It's like gritty, and kind of dark, evil look, which suits Gears really well as a skin. So I hope to see them do more of that. And then the shot pulls out, and I have to say it's really beautifully done. Whoever directed this, well done on that. We have Reyna, and they went for a bit of poeticness here, and they have Kate at the base of the tree and Reyna there. And she, in the next frame, you'll see she does an execution, which is also an older execution from previous operations. So they're showing a lot of old content in this trailer, which I'm not really sure why. And then in the next frame, we have a skin for Colonel Victor Hoffman. Looks like him in his kind of training days. He's bald there, looking cool. I made a comment before saying he looks kind of like Conor McGregor when he has his head shaved. And then you have a good look. He's actually holding a tri-shot, which I think is a weapon swap that's returning from Gears of War 4. I think it was the tri-shot and the salvo launcher, so it looks like that setup could be returning as the weapon swaps on the map. And then in the next frame we have a swarm drone in UIR armor, which is one of the Tour of Duty skins I'm gathering. We've had this theme a couple times throughout Gears 5 where some of the swarm are stealing some tank parts and armor parts from the COG versus UIR war and are using it as their own armor, kind of to fit their scavenger theme. Some of them are taking Locust armor as well, so that's cool to keep. I'd love to see kind of more in-depth look into that from the Coalition in terms of their designs. And then next here, I actually only caught this on my last watch through of the trailer, which was this looks to be a collector's version of the Locust Zealot, which is actually, it looks like it's based on a concept art of the Locust Zealot from Gears Tactics. If you guys look up, Locust Zealot concept, you'll see that he originally was like that color in the art style, and then they eventually went with the kind of silver and gold armor look. So it's an alternate color for him, which I believe is in the Tour of Duty. But he's sticking a kick to the looks to be the New Age Onyx guard there. And then next part of the trailer, we have that the UIR drone doing once again an older execution. So this stuff isn't in the new Tour of Duty. This is all stuff from like previous operations. So I'm not sure why that stuff is in there, to be perfectly honest. But Ben's getting his legs destroyed there, unfortunately, and we kind of have an over the shoulder view of the Locust Zealot kind of running past all this happening. And then in the next shot, this is pretty cool. This is actually a bit of feedback I've been giving, is that, some emotes are pretty hit or miss with the Gears community in terms of content. And I've been thinking, they could make really good use. Emotes could make sense. It could be, them fidgeting with guns or polishing weapons or, just any, like playing with the gun, anything like that. So here we actually have a new expression or emote with Foz doing some tricks with the bolt hawk. So what I'm curious about is, does this expression combo in with whatever pistol you have, or does he just pull a bolt hawk out of nowhere even if you don't have one? That'll be interesting to see. I think it'd be much more clever if it was whatever pistol you had on you, but we'll have to wait and see, obviously. And then in the next frame, we just have a big explosion. I don't know why. It's just there. And then in the next shot, we have looks like Hoffman joining in with Marcus and Dom there, defending a tap in Horde mode as he kicks a leech there. And then the final kind of big shot is showing the Wakatu, and it looks to be like a old school Delta dealing with it there. But the Wakatu is a boss that was introduced in Operation 5, so this is not Operation 6 content. So again, I'm a bit puzzled as to why that's in there. But at the end of the day, I think it's a good idea to promote the Wakatu, because just to get it out there more, to make more people aware of it, because I feel like people weren't. It is a brand new AI boss that is in the game that you can, take on in Horde mode, and it's definitely very difficult. But I don't think the place to show it is in the Operation 6 trailer, to be honest. And then we close off with Operation 6, and so that's it. There's no like showcase of the escape from Kadar mode for the Locust, or any of the other content that's coming. Like, it doesn't showcase the new control mode or anything like that. I feel like it missed the mark on showing what's actually in the operation. There was more older content in there. Like, I saw several executions from previous operations in there. There was a big showcase of the Carmines, which are from older operations. I could understand if this was like a kind of a, if this was part of a trailer that was summing up the game so far, maybe. But in terms of promoting the content that's in Operation 6, I don't think it did a good job. All right, and alongside that trailer, the Coalition released a blog which features the Tour of Duty, which is basically kind of what the trailer was about, except, like I said, it did feature a lot of old content there as well. So we can see what exactly is in here that kind of coincides with the trailer, and just kind of get an idea what the Tour of Duty is all about. So first up, we have the Recruit tier, which gives us the Jigsaw loadout set, which is, your Lancer, Nasher, Snub, Boltok, and Talon. And then we have a set called Iridescent, which I really like the look of. It's kind of like, when you heat metal up and it turns that kind of shade of purple and copper blue looking, it looks like that, which I really like the look of. Then we have the Collector Zealot. So I was correct. This is the alternate version of the Zealot, which is kind of just a color change to make him look like how he was in the concept art initially for Gears Tactics. Then we have more of the Jigsaw set, the power weapons. Then we have the UIR Elite drones. So this is, the drone with the kind of UIR tank and armor parts on him. That's for the private tier. In terms of Corporal, we have more Jigsaw set. And then we have, I think, 100 iron there. And more of the iridescent weapon set, which I think is all the power weapons like Boomshot, Scorcher, Breaker Mace, and all that kind of stuff. And then for the Sergeant tier, we have 100 iron, more of the Jigsaw set, and then we have Hive Buster Foz, which we saw in the trailer doing that one expression. And then for the Officer tier, we have the Iridescent Assault set, we have the Gas Blood Spray, and we have the Loadout set for the Iridescent weapon skins. And then for the Lieutenant tier, we have another 100 iron, we have the Commendation weapon set, and then we have the Peace expression, so you hold up two fingers, classic kind of emote there, it's in a lot of games. Then we have more of the Commendation weapon set for the Captain tier, as well as an Embry Star Mark. That's cool. That's like a throwback to Gears of War 3. And then we have, for the Major tier, we have another 100 iron, and we have Captain Hoffman, which is kind of, Hoffman in his vest there with the ball look. And then for Colonel, we have more of the Commendation weapon set, and we have the Gunslinger expression, where it looks like he's holding the Boltok there. So I'll be curious to see if it's for all pistols you're holding, or if it's just like it will spawn a Boltok in your hand kind of thing. And then for Major General, we have the Commendation loadout set and 100 iron. And then finally, for the General top tier, we have Blood Red Queen Reyna. And then it also gives us a little tidbit there, is that we'll get more coins throughout, which I believe is kind of hinting at once you max out your Tour of Duty, you get 750 coins per level up then after. Once you do that, what's that called? Legend rank. That's it. Legend rank. Once you get your legend rank, you keep leveling that up, you get 750 additional coins. And then on top of that, we have the additional medal groups. They go on to mention a few here of, the basics tab giving you 2,000 coins, the weapons tab giving you another 2,000 coins, the honor the fallen tab, which gives you 3,000 coins, ashes to ashes, also gives you 5,000 coins. And then they bring up the weekly store here, which has Armored Hoffman, Queen Reyna, and Loca Zealot, as well as the the Zealot helmet mark and the UMAD blood spray. That's a bit toxic. But yeah, I'm surprised that those skins are in the store and not in the tour. Considering they're like, the three of them are like the face of the operation. That image of Hoffman is also from Gears of War 4 and Gears of War Ultimate Edition. That's not the Hoffman that we're seeing in Gears 5. He looks much better than that. So that's interesting that that image is there. But yeah, surprising to see that they're there. But as usual, they will be available for coins probably very soon after. So not so bad. And then for the patch notes, so they go on to say here, and to close out, here are the patch notes scheduled to release in Operation 6. First up with PvP, FFA Nashers / Torpo tag, regular weapon spawns that persist in certain maps will no longer continue to do so. That's basically addressing an event that's supposed to have a single weapon like Torpo or Nashers or Osok. There won't be a random other weapon there on the map anymore, which happened a few times, so that's good to see that's fixed. A rare instance in which a user may start with no weapon on Nashers only modes has been addressed. I've never experienced that, but that's good to know it's fixed. The observer numbers when spectating will now correctly line up. Players now spawn with their correct position in escalation. That's interesting, considering escalation is not in the public rotation. Maybe that's a sign that it's coming back at some point. Players will now spawn after joining a Guardian game in progress while their leader is still alive. Players will now spawn after joining a Guardian game in progress while their leader is still alive. Oh, okay. So you're not just going to stand there spectating anymore. Players will no longer see the placeholder leader skin if they have no customization installed. For Gridiron, a end zone projection will no longer clip into a boat on canals. The Nasher will now show tracers when firing. This will allow you to visually see where your bullet trails go. We've now improved the consistency when it comes to jibbing a player who's sliding into cover, so that's good to know. Playlists that are set as 4v4 will no longer fill to 5v5 when bot backfilling is enabled. And in terms of PvE, upon dying, Jack characters would see an ultimate ready text line that is now fixed. Users should no longer encounter multi-second freezes while playing Escape. In terms of Horde, fortifications placed inside walls will now be able to be picked back up. And then for Horde Escape, decreased the frozen damage multiplier for snipers from 5 times to 3 times. Horde / Escape, reduced Fabricator spawn blocking distance on river from 30 meters to 25 meters. Horde / Escape, decreased frozen damage multiplier for shotguns from 7 times to 3 times. Is this like frozen damage for the player or for the AI? You know, some of them have mutators, so maybe it's both. Horde / Escape, tweak the following daily rewards. Skill cards from advanced are now to, in terms of rewards, are now 3 to 4. Coins on beginner is now 100 to 200. Coins for inconceivable is now 300 to 400. And coins for advanced is now 150 to 300. So pretty much everything is either doubled or gone a step up. So we have Blademaster. The Blademaster now correctly receives 30% damage resist from melee attacks, which has been previously hotfixed. And then the Pilot, when equipped on the Silverback, the Scorcher will no longer point to the ground. Okay, cool. So that will actually function properly now. Okay, and in terms of characters, so it looks like some of the characters had maybe some visual and audio bugs. So Outsider Kate's gums will no longer clip through her lip while performing the thumbs up expression. Don't all Kates do that? When they do thumbs up, they do like this weird thing with their mouth. Maybe it's for all of them. For esports, Kate's shoulders are now weighted correctly during expressions, which addresses clipping issues. One of Dizzy's character lines will no longer have a narrator voice play. I'm not really sure what that means. Characters will no longer display the wrong full model when full customization is not installed. The character skin faction icon for cards will no longer overlap the rarity. Sid will no longer say, "Get out of my way" when shot by a teammate. Abominable Grenadier, a minor weighting issue has been fixed on the cloth. Recon Sid, a minor weighting issue has been fixed on Sid's wrist while in high cover. Swarm Elite Hunter, when held as a meat shield, the hunter's tassel will no longer flail out of control. Lament characters will now have their glow appropriately applied. That's a big one. The community's really wanted that. They did such a good job in Gears 4, and we finally have that same kind of quality in Gears 5, so that's good to see. The Jade Skin, a texture seam presented on the Jade Boomshot has now been fixed. Mira's double-time voice expression no longer uses the incorrect voice line. I know Mira has a bunch of missing dialogue because the actress that voices her was like retired, and she did some things for Gears 5 as like a favor, but she didn't like get to do like the whole suite of voice line expressions. So if any of you are wondering as to like why some of that's missing, that's why. And then for Onyx guard Keegan, a skin clipping issue on Keegan's left shoulder has been fixed. The museum skin, the museum material at the back of the Marksa will now be wooden instead of metal. Jermad will no longer use 2 fingers to point to his one eye in the watching you expression. Oh, so they like gave him a bit of a unique one. I mean, that's fine. They didn't really need to change that. For maps, Foundation, an issue with a level detail of pop on a specific window has been addressed. Nexus, Jack will no longer clip through certain segments inside the map. For Nexus, during Horde, users will no longer be able to attempt to vault through the gates at both spawns. Okay, so there's obviously... Every time I read, like, the Horde patch notes, the community's always doing something that I've never heard of. And I play quite a bit of Horde, mind you. And then for other, players can now access the extras menu even if they do not have the full campaign chunk installed. The Heroic Venom Gnasher will no longer have brown crystals on the weapon when playing as the Swarm. Users who have outdated graphics drivers for Gears 5 will now be advised to upgrade them to ensure they have the best gameplay experience. That's a good one. I like that, encouraging people to be on the latest drivers, provided that they are of benefit, because sometimes drivers come out and they are not the best for Gears 5. I noticed, like, sometimes a new one will come out and then all of a sudden you'll start having performance issues. So like, take that prompt. I recommend being on the latest for like all games, but in terms of Gears 5, just be a bit careful. I'm just going off of experience here. Just kind of see what the community is giving thoughts on in terms of the drivers. If you have an NVIDIA card, you can ask me, and I'll let you know how mine is going. Anyway, currently things are good with the latest drivers, which is kind of modeled around Outriders. So I wouldn't be surprised if there were some Unreal Engine benefits in there that are making things run well. Anyway, that was a lot for PC users there. Sorry, guys. The async compute graphical setting being turned on will no longer cause graphical issues. Oh, that's good. Fix numerous crashes in-game across the game. Thank you. Thank you. An issue to players not spawning in a match has been fixed. I'm guessing that's quick play related. If you retrocharge, attempt to chainsaw, and get stunned, your character will no longer automatically attempt to reload their weapon. So this is kind of part of a discrepancy that controller players have, where with reload and chainsaw both being tied to the same key, if you're on PC, you're allowed to rebind this to separate keys. But on controller, for whatever, sorry, not on PC, if you're on keyboard, you're allowed to rebind that to separate keys, because you can play on keyboard on console as well. I need to not let that slip. People forget that. And then, but with controller, you can't. Even though controllers have remappable keys nowadays, you still can't do that, which I find peculiar. So hopefully that will help address that problem. And then that's everything in there. That's absolutely everything. We have the Tour of Duty, which I'm surprised doesn't include Hoffman and Queen Reyna and the Locust Zealot. There's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 character skins. There's one for Foz, there's one for the UIR soldier, there's one for Hoffman, and one for Queen Reyna. But the actual characters themselves are based in the store. So let me know what you guys think of that. I know everything's buyable with coins, so it's like not the end of the world, but it's just, to make the tour feel like super meaningful, I think that matters. You know, leave your feedback in the comments down below and let me know what you guys think of that. And then, you know, back to the trailer. I think like it was a pretty trailer, don't get me wrong. You know, some of the shots in there were nice, but it showed a lot of old content. It didn't mention anything about Escape from Kadar, which is the brand new Locust Horde mode that is coming in the operation, and it didn't do anything to promote you know, the restructuring of content for Gears 5 really. I know the narrator said, we heard you, more content more often, but that seems to be getting a lot of backlash from the community, because unfortunately at the end of the day, we've heard, you know, it's been a year now since the summit really, or maybe a month or two shy, but the coalition been talking about the summit, which is basically where the studio all kind of sat down and kind of reevaluated the way that they were doing content. And ever since then, they've been saying we're doubling down on maps, and you know, there's no more escape tiles, so the entire studio can focus on that. And, you know, Operation 5 delivered in a big way. Don't get me wrong, that's definitely been the best operation so far. I wish this operation was a lot like a continuation of that. But since things are being restructured and all that, unfortunately, this operation is launched, like with all of that messaging, this operation is launching with one map, and it's a remake from Gears 4. So I 100% understand why people are upset. It's perfectly reasonable, and you guys can communicate that to the developers, but just do it in a way where you're like, you know, this is what I think, that's that. Just don't get like super personal about it. I know a lot of people tend to get really aggressive towards developers, and that's not good either. But yeah, it's I'll be playing it, don't get me wrong. I still like really enjoy Gears 5. You know, gameplay wise, I actually enjoy it more than Gears of War 4. You know, I like the universal tuning. I enjoy you know, ranked and all that kind of thing. And you know, I'm trying not to rant too much because I've said stuff like this before, but you know, the fact that ranked doesn't have any more modes in it, it's still just TDM, King of the Hill, 2v2, and King of the Hill, TDM, Ranked, 2v2, and whatever the other one is, I'm forgetting, but you guys get what I mean. It's just 4 modes, or free-for-all, that's it, free-for-all. You know, the same 4 modes, even though I love free-for-all, but then, you know, the only option to play with your friends in ranked mode is King of the Hill, really, because that's the only one that allows full parties. You know, if you have one friend, you can play 2v2, and the same for Team Deathmatch, you can't bring in 4 friends. And all those experiences are quite similar. Like, you can't, you know, you can't play a single life mode together because the only option there is Gridiron, and that's been, like, regulated to social, which isn't really the same experience as ranked, because people could just, like, leave all willy-nilly and freely, as they have the right to, because it is social, but it just doesn't present that mode in a manner where, like, you feel like anything is on the line at all, if you know what I mean. But, yeah, that's basically my breakdown of the Operation 6 trailer and my thoughts on the Tour of Duty and content here for Operation 6 for Gears 5. Let me know what you guys think of it in the comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the trailer. Are you happy with the Tour of Duty? Is there anything you're really striving for and hoping Gears 5 does? Are you happy with, you know, how things are being communicated in terms of, you know, in terms of how trailers are being delivered and blog posts and that kind of thing? Let me know in the comments. But if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to my channel for all future Gears of War related content. Share the video around if you really enjoyed it. Follow me on Twitter at TheRazoredEdge. My Discord link is in the description if you want to chat Gears of War with me whenever. And if you guys want to become a channel member, if you click the join button down below this video or on my channel, you're presented with kind of like something similar to a Twitch subscription. My cheapest is $1.99. You get some emotes for the comments section, which are kind of Gears inspired, and you get other perks like badges and things like that, and other little channel perks. But yeah, I'd really appreciate it if you guys actually did that. I know I mentioned it, but I would really appreciate it if you did that. It really helps out. But that has been it for the video, and I will see you guys next time.